What's up, guys? I finally got another working headset, so I'm going to try to do a couple more videos now that Revelator's out, detail some things. Eventually we're going to start talking about what I think works well as a Soul player. I'll be collaborating with VR Raiden to do some tutorial videos on what I think is the best way to play Soul, or at least the way that's worked for me. But right now I just want to do a quick video detailing the Burst Overdrive feature that got added in Revelator. There's something interesting I noticed about it while I was playing the demo that I haven't heard mentioned anywhere else, is that apparently there's some aspect of the scaling system where the more scaling the opponent is subject to, the more damage a Burst Overdrive actually does. So I'm gonna start with the most basic demonstration of it. So we're gonna do Soul's standard corner combo, and we're gonna end it with a Burst Overdrive, and we're gonna see how much damage is added. So I'm gonna start with a close slash version because that does the most damage. So if we look at the damage here, so that added about 73 damage at the end. The total damage is 297, which is pretty high. But just for contrast, now let's do the same combo starting with 5k and see how much damage the Burst Overdrive adds. So 50 and 37, so that was 87. So even though the combo itself didn't do as much damage, it added the super added a lot more damage at the end. I'm not sure why. It seems to have something to do with what the combos started with, and we'll do it off of 2k just to give you the biggest picture of it. $50 and 43, so that was 93. So, and that combo started off of 2k and did 238 damage, which is pretty good for a combo starting off of 2k. So that has some interesting applications. One of the first time I noticed it was when I saw this Johnny combo. It was some ridiculously long combo up at Potemkin with a bunch of punches, and the scaling got really bad. And it ended with the overdrive, the Burst Overdrive. That's my name, and it did a ton of damage. And it was very surprising. But yeah, to give you another example. Let me see, do I have this recording set up properly? Is it this button? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I like to use that for a counter hit. That way I don't get, when I'm doing stun sequences, I don't have to turn counter hit off again. So. Ah, man. Excuse my execution, guys. I'm old. Jeez, man, this sucks for a demo video, but it's just a simple video, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. Blah blah. So that added 59 damage at the end, which is like not a lot for giving up your burst in a half meter. You know, it did 338, which is pretty good, but in that situation, it's not really worth it. But then you compare it to the relative gains off of something really low scaling like a 2k. You take a combo that normally wouldn't do that much damage and you turn it into something really good, like over half life, which is pretty cool. Of course, you still have to ask yourself if it's worth the resources that you're using. You know, I have to see if I can add something on the end of that. Maybe I can VV and get a knockdown. Probably not, but I'm a pretty greedy player. Wow. Boom. Boom. Nah, yeah, I don't have time to add VV there. He texts way before I even get control of the character again. Anyway, but that was just a quick demonstration. Yeah, I'd be interested to see if people can do a little more research into these properties, or maybe somebody can get a line to a Japanese player who understands the game a bit better and understands this aspect. It may not come up because just in practical terms it's not that useful. I mean, it doesn't lets you kill someone easily from a low life situation. Like, to give you an example, like, it lets you ensure a kill when their life is low. Because I experimented with this earlier. So I'm gonna set him to about 24%, and so he's gonna die here. It's like blat blat, which that's pretty cool. You know, normally in a low life situation like that, that's a good way to avoid these magic pixel opponents. I was just watching a match earlier where Machobo was playing a Faust player online, and the same thing happened to the Faust player. He had Machobo down to nothing. He did a RC combo with Faust and got him down to almost nothing, and then the last hit didn't kill him, and Machobo teched out, and of course he came back because it's Sin. All you need is one opening, and came right back and won. So that helps you avoid situations like that in those low life situations. But if he's down to, if your opponent is down to that small amount of life in the first place, it's doubtful that, I mean, they can come back, of course. You can always come back, especially in a game like Guilty Gear where the damage is ridiculous and characters can just roll you over in a second, especially the top tier characters in this game. But it's still pretty useful. It's just, it's not as cool as I thought. I thought, oh, well, if it's low scaling, it's going to add even more damage, then I should be able to kill somebody from like 40 or 50% with a low kick, or even like 30%. But you can see, like, I'll turn it right at the 25, just 1% higher, so he's a quarter life. And there you go. And he still has like that one magic pixel left. That's really annoying. So that might limit the application somewhat. So it really is only noticeable when they're already at high life, and then you kind of have to ask yourself, if I'm not going to finish my opponent off, especially depending on the character, you know, a character like Soul, ending a combo with Tyrant Rave without being able to catch some kind of follow-up is not really ideal if your opponent's not going to die. So that probably limits the application, but it depends on the character. I would anticipate a character like Sin could probably benefit from it more, because Sin, you know, his ability to use overdrives within his combos, and also to end combos, you know, he can end combos with RTL. So Burst Overdrive, like Burst RTL, he can end a combo with that and tack on some pretty significant damage to a combo that probably already hurt a lot and finish people off pretty easily. Plus he gets a hard knockdown off of RTL. So, you know, it probably just depends on the character. You need to experiment a little bit. I'm sure some players can, you know, some more lab monsters can get out there and really reap the benefits. I mean, I'll have one more demonstration that shows how interesting this is. So the cool thing with Soul is that you can start a combo with a Tyrant Rave and continue it, and it does so much damage. So, of course, in a combo you can only get one Burst Overdrive because you have one burst. So to show you the damage difference between which one you use, depending on the combo, I'm just going to do this quick demonstration. So first we're going to start it with a Burst Overdrive and then end it with a regular Overdrive and see how much damage that does. This hurts so much. That's 283. That's pretty good without a counter hit for Soul. And the cool thing about using overdrives, of course, is you don't kill your meter gain. So it's really important for Soul because he relies on meter so much, especially for his offense. Helps to make up somewhat for his neutral. Anyway, so let's do it reverse. Let's start with a regular overdrive and end it with a burst overdrive and see the damage difference. So I did 307. So I did more damage, and you know, I didn't catch the numbers at the end, but you could see like that last overdrive definitely did more damage when it was a burst overdrive. So anyway, again, just something interesting I noted that I hadn't seen anyone talking about, and that's possibly because the application is limited, but just something neat, you know, good topic for a comeback video. And eventually, once I get more time, I'll collaborate with some other Soul players, and we can get some cool, you know, some cool content for you guys. Because I think really, Soul is such a standard character, I feel like players don't really think that much about how to play him properly. And I see so many Soul players that struggle once they hit the intermediate and later levels, just because they don't really, like, they get to that medium point and they're like, well, what do I do now? How do I win? You know, I'm struggling in the neutral. These characters have better neutral than me. I can't just spam specials. You know, I think that's a big weakness that a lot of Soul players run into, just because his specials are so utilitarian that you have so many uses. You end up relying on them, and you rely on going hog wild and just throwing stuff out there because he has that aspect of the character, that high risk, high reward aspect, and they never really evolve past that. And they try to play him safe all the time, and then they struggle there because, you know, he's kind of got some weaknesses in neutral. Other characters can outzone him, and it makes his offense predictable if you're not willing to make a couple of reads every once in a while. Anyway, but that's to come in the future. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.